All right. You hear the stampede? We in the building. How y'all doing tonight?
All right. Good.
Good. I gotta get control of this baby, but in the meantime, I think it's gonna be an interesting one this evening. Women's point of view. Um, we're gonna explore, and Rotunda gave me the definition, but I like to use it. I think it's more provocative of the word divest. But should black women consider divesting? Ro, what did you say the definition of what is it? Divestment, divesting. What was that actual definition? You remember?
The definition of divesting is to deprive yourself of something, but I'm sorry, that ain't it. My bad. The definition is to deprive yourself of something.
So does that have a negative connotation?
Well, it just depends on what you're divesting in. So most of us are probably, if you know anything about that apartheid, they used to use that in the 80s about divesting from investing in companies that were taking advantage of South Africans. That's divesting, meaning to take away. It can be negative, but it also can be beneficial if it's used in the context of benefiting yourself.
Okay, so we can potentially be using it correctly then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so did you guys hear about Jonathan Majors?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Does everybody know who he is?
He's an actor, Hollywood actor.
Yep.
Yes.
He played in Creed.
What happened? I know who he is, but what happened? I missed it.
Oh, girl, let me catch you up. Sunday afternoon, him and his girl were in a taxi cab. I think it was a taxi cab. And she tried to get his phone from him, and he snatched it back. And in the scuffle, she got minked. He minked her.
Allegedly
minked her. But she was also wilding out on him. And so the police were called by him. He actually called the police. However, they tried to charge him because I think she's I believe she is.
What does that mean?
And she has mental health issues.
What's that mean?
Because that's why they charged him.
I know what I'm saying. What is it? They can't hear you.
She's Caucasian.
Allegedly, or she is?
No, she is. I don't believe she's allegedly a Caucasian. I think she is Caucasian.
Does anybody else know? Does anybody have any more facts about it?
She is. She's of the lighter persuasion.
What are you talking about? Is she white or not? What
She is.
I said yes, she's Caucasian. That's what Caucasian
is. You're doing all this and lighter what are you like?
From the Caucasus Mountains, as you would say.
As you would call it. She white.
Man. Okay.
And so then he called the police because he was scared for her mental health because she was wilding out real bad. However, they charged him with assault, I believe.
Okay, I'm just trying to get it back straight. Okay, so they was going off on each other, but he called the cops, and then but he got arrested.
Correct.
Because she's not black. And then
I said white, dang, I said white.
Thank you.
Okay, but it's like, is that why he got locked up? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why? What? So he's still in there? Like, what happened?
No, he recanted her story now.
Lord, where was this at? I missed it, Lord.
He is out of jail.
Okay,
and she recanted her story. However, he still got charged afterwards, which is the problem and the dilemma.
I thought he got charged when they brought him in, and then she recanted after the fact.
They didn't drop them? Is that what happened? They didn't drop the charges after that.
Correct.
Ah, got it.
So
okay.
he still has to go. So you have to go to arraignment for them to get dropped. So he has to go to court, and they can get dropped after that. So there's a process to it. Is the assumption that they will get dropped?
His lawyer believes they will.
Okay. Yeah, I saw some of what the lawyer said. He said there's witnesses and video evidence. So some of so he went to UNC School of the Arts. I guess it's supposed to be pretty high end. And then he got I guess it's a master's from Yale, which is a hard school to get into for arts and such. So some of his classmates were saying he's always been like this. They also said that he only hung around white people. This was also his white classmates talking, and one of the men, I forget his name, even went so far to call him a sociopath. So this was all said, and then the lady had recanted. Now, as we know, maybe you guys would agree, women, I mean, that has happened, right? Like somebody, well, a girl will call the police and then not want the police to take the man,
Yeah.
even if he did something wrong.
Right.
So, I want to believe that he didn't do anything wrong and she was wilding, but we know this, it could be either or. So,
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, white girl. I heard somebody allude to the fact that that was maybe the reason why he got locked up. Anybody want to expound on that?
Since I said it, I'll expound upon it since I said it.
Okay.
Typically, with the white woman tears, granted, she was probably crying because she was upset and they were fighting, right? But the white woman tears, we know, get weaponized. And when police officers come, mainly white, they will take the side of the crying female, and happen to be a white female. They just usually snatch the man up, typically. And it's an unfortunate thing, because he was trying to get his phone back. We weren't there. I wasn't there. So in his effort of trying to get his phone back, men are about their phones. He may have snatched her and maybe who knows? I mean, in the scuffle, you're trying to get your stuff back. Somebody might have got smacked, right? And then she's trying to keep the phone and get, so I get it that she may have had like a scratch or whatever. But they were in a scuffle, and it's just a tricky situation. But for him to get charged, and not necessarily her, but she was also involved in the scuffle. I mean, he's super built from Creed, and that looks a certain type of way as well. He's a strong black man with a nice broad nose, and this is a white girl crying and upset. He hit me, that kind of thing. So it was just very inflammatory and explosive.
How much does her being a white girl allege? Because they didn't come out with it, I don't think. How much does that matter? Mary?
A lot.
Yeah,
Sometimes
why?
that can be the determining factor. I mean, of course, as we all know, they handle certain situations and cases differently in regards to that. Just like the situation that I believe happened down here in Florida where the black dude is dead, but they didn't even get the white girl in jail as quick as they did, charge this man with assault or whatever the case may be.
That white girl that killed him, about that white girl that killed her boyfriend?
Allegedly.
Right, that allegedly, killed her boyfriend due to domestic violence or whatever, self-defense and all that, but was out the next day, party, going out with another nigga and shit like that. But then, they go as quick as to charge a black man with assault or whatever the case may be. But, so yes, it is a determining factor.
Anybody else got an opinion on that? That dynamic?
That's why I had actually asked, because this was my first time hearing about it. So that was my first question, honestly, was, is that why he got locked up? Because I heard y'all say, okay, she was white. And I'm like, well, that's the first thing I'm thinking about. Not what he did, but, he was a white girl. So no matter what he did, like, that explains why he's behind bars. And that's sad. But I mean, honestly, just me kind of coming from the outside looking in on this, that was my first inkling. So.
Okay. So it's maybe, are we saying that's not specifically what he did, but who he did it to, allegedly?
I mean, yeah, that was my first thought, was like, because y'all mentioned, like, just because it was mentioned, it had to be an important fact for me. So I'm like, okay, well, he was a white girl, he got locked up, 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't what he did. Like, that wasn't even a question, because I didn't even ask it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think And I think it's like, as well, like, look at a lot of other these cases that even if they are like black couples and stuff like that, for somebody to get charged so quick, like, that's not adding up to me.
Also, most of the time when it's black couples, if it's a domestic dispute, y'all both getting arrested.
Yeah.
That part.
Or they just remove somebody from the home and don't arrest nobody. Like, so it's like, for this to happen this quick, like something not the math ain't mathing.
Well, could the math not be mathing? Because one of his charges is also strangulation. Sis, what do you think about that? Strangulation, assault, and I guess they said it was a domestic because even though they were in a car, I guess they were dating, so that makes it domestic.
I mean, they're gonna try their darndest to put him under the jail, but if she's the key witness and she doesn't cooperate with them, then the case is gonna be a little harder for that state. That's just what I'm thinking. Hopefully she doesn't, because she probably knows what really happened. You know, those are my thoughts. Outside of that, I'm hoping that a lot of black men stop dating these white women overall. It's kind of like you got to learn from other people instead of going through it yourself, because you don't really need, a lot of black men don't need to date white women. Like, it's unnecessary. So hopefully they look at this and learn from it.
And by unnecessary, what do you mean? You're on mute. By unnecessary,
Well,
what do you mean?
it's a lot of black women that are unmarried, right? And interested in black men still. Like, we haven't jumped ship. So what's the point? There is no point. There's absolutely no point to date a white woman if you are a black man.
Okay. So Dana.
Yes.
Interracial dating, yes or no, and why?
What? I don't know him. I mean, I have so many mixed feelings about it. For me, I don't care for black people dating outside their race, but I also grew up in Southern California, where everybody's either black, white, Mexican, Filipino, or a combination of the four. Like, everybody is mixed. Everybody's in an interracial, relationship. So it's the norm that I was exposed to. But having grown up and being, in this area where I'm around a different demographic of people, where there are far more black people than I'm used to, and I'm seeing them in all different walks of life. I'm with sis. I don't really see a reason why you need to step outside your race, because you got the whole, we run the whole gamut here. And I don't, while I don't disagree, or I'll never tell anybody who they can and cannot be in a relationship with or love. I don't subscribe to it, but I don't judge it either.
Okay. Ro, what you think? Interracial dating, yes or no, and why?
I say yes. I think that love doesn't, like, necessarily, I hate to sound cliche, but I don't think it has a race or a color to it, as long as you can respect the culture and respect me, respect my family. I think that there is room for someone outside of my race to love me, and vice versa.
Okay. So Dana says no. Rose says yes. Ish, what you think?
I think once upon a time I said I had one more black man in me. However, I really just cannot see myself with something other than a black man.
Okay, so you recant.
I'm going to recant that because I was just talking foolishness, but there's no attraction to anything other than a black man, honestly, and I like him real dark too.
Shit like that.
Nay, what you think about it?
It's kind of hard, because I do think that you should be able to love whoever you love, but I'm gonna always prefer that you date your own. However, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like Isha. I was like, I don't know. Before I switched teams, though, I was looking at the other side for a moment. I really was, but I think you should be able to date who you fall. You can't help who you fall in love with, but at the same time, that can be hard. Mary, like, she's like, yes, you can. It can be hard because, oh man, that's a tough one. It can be hard. I don't know. I can't really say yes or no. I guess it just depends on the person. If you're willing to be subjected to whatever you are subjected to, dating outside of your race, it's gonna be some hardships with it. I'll be honest, it will be some hardships with it, but yeah, I don't know.
So Nay, It's Tuesday, but I have to be candid with you. You haven't really said anything.
Okay.
No, just just think about it. I'll
I
come
prefer
back.
you date your own. I prefer it. So I'll say, yeah, I
No,
don't know.
I'm not. It's not Wednesday. I'm not asking you to make a deliberate, definitive, but you just kind of just saying everything.
Because I'm in between. Like I am. It's like I can see why people do it, but it's hard. I don't know. It's a tough one for me.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
I'm sorry. It's a tough one.
All right. Asia, what you think, man? Nate made it hard for me. You on mute?
I wasn't talking. I was trying to see how I was going to answer this question. I have before. I have. It was different, but that's date. As far as marrying, I don't know if I could do that. Like little yin yang yang, like play around, whatever. Yeah, but not take you seriously. Like I'm not bringing you in my bloodline. No.
So you're saying you would have relations with a white man, but not marry him.
I didn't say that. I said a little play thing, like we can go out on dates, we can take walks, we can, get to know each other, whatever, be friends. Go on.
No, I'm trying to understand because you said a little yin yang yang. I don't.
Time.
So you're saying just like hang out with a person?
Yeah, we hang out. When I was younger too. When I was younger, when I had more time on my hands. I ain't got much time on my hands now. I'm getting older.
Man.
Tay. You know what? I think we should keep. Now this is gonna sound real bad, but I don't even care. I think we should keep the bloodlines pure. That sounds real bad.
This might be risky, so you said it.
What'd you say, Dave?
This might be risky. You said what you felt.
I keep them pure. Like I want blackity black.
But all of our bloodlines ain't pure.
I said that. I know they're not. But what I'm saying is, I prefer to keep them pure. I said we got enough of them back in the day through the bloodline. We ain't got to perpetuate it going forward. But that's, it's a risky statement. That's why love is risky.
Why is it risky to say that black people should be with black people?
Well, no, I'm saying everybody should be like white with white.
Yeah, but I'm just, if we're being specific.
Because it almost sounds like we're being racist too.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think it sounds limiting. Like to me, I don't want to limit myself. Like I do want me a black man, but if somebody else beat him to it, then sorry. But I prefer that.
Would you marry outside your race?
I'm open to love in any form.
Yes, that's why I switched teams.
So yes, I would.
Okay. So just let me ask you guys a question, and not to derail, but I just want to, if you think my logic is sound. So when you hear the word racist, right? If you say like a gymnast or a pianist, what does a gym mean to the gymnast? Like, what does the gym need? Like, what does a piano mean to a pianist? Everything. Do they like the piano?
It's everything.
Do they have an affinity for the piano? Do they take care of the piano? So if you're a racist, would that just simply mean that you prefer what you are above all others? Does it have to have such a negative connotation? Because a suffix ist means have a interest in. Now I understand connotations and whatever the case is, but that sounds like it makes sense to me.
No, I agree with you on that.
I never thought about it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But can't having an interest in something mean having control over that thing? So black people can't really be racist because we don't really control anything.
I think that's the third definition of having power over. But I'm just saying, just in terms of the suffix. But yeah, I mean, good point. But I don't want to derail. I just had that thought. Mary, what'd you think about what Tay said? She open to love in any form.
Love is none of my business. But my question to clarify. Now, when you say interracial, are we talking about black and white specifically? We're
talking about interracial. So, black, white, black, Puerto Rican,
Because I'm
black.
Puerto Rican, so I can't say I wouldn't want my black man. I've only been with black men. I've
What's
never
your dad?
been with anything else. My dad is black.
Oh shit, you black. The hell you arguing about? Mute.
Because I'm black to some people and not to other. Because I'm too light.
Okay. Damn.
Anything
So
mixed with black is black.
But me personally,
yo, so the hold on. So let me just get this straight. Interracial daters say I. That means I.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Aye.
So to Mary's point, if
Interracial
you
No,
date
no,
white
no,
men,
nay,
that's
nay, nay,
interracial.
nay, nay, nay. Stop. Interracial daters say I.
Aye.
You guys are all over the place.
Not interracial
So-
marrying though.
So
Interracial dating.
Okay, yeah.
stop. Ain't well. This isn't Wednesday, so I'm not going. So you got Tay. She doing all. See, for everybody on the podcast, Tay over here jumping, jacking, and celebrating and all that. We got Ro. We got Love. We got Nay. And then the non-interracial daters. Again, they didn't say they hating. They just saying that this is not their preference whatsoever. You got Mary.
elaborate on mine.
No, Mary. Even though she's
Never been with nothing else
Aisha,
than a dark-skinned black man, so nothing else matters.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Sis,
Shit like that.
and Dana. Okay. So do you think that do you think love can come in the same way from any race, color, creed? You think it's gonna feel the same from a man that's not of the same origin, bro? Come on, bro. You
Yes.
give me a lot of dead air, Playboy.
Yes. I'm saying yes, I do.
Okay.
And I
go
think
on.
that because everybody's perception of love is different, and when you find your mate, you and your mate are going to match. It's not going to be like, oh, black people love each other a certain way. Black people can cater to each other a certain way, but my white spouse or white partner can't cater to me like the black people do. That's about environment. That's how you're raised. So I think that is possible for them to love you based off of how you love.
Go ahead, Dana, then Mary.
I was gonna say you can't trust nothing that Rose say because she got 10 female best friends.
And you know what? And all of them were watching.
She just
and
say
they
love
thank
from
you for
everybody.
that,
She give love
honey.
to everybody. I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling.
So if you guys came across a white man that loved you, gave you everything that you needed, you're telling me that you would not want to be with him because he was white?
A white man can't give me everything that I need ever.
No, I would take B up on his offer first. I can't do it.
Oh damn!
I love her. I love her.
I hear what you're saying, Ro, but to answer the question, I don't think I could ever get everything that I need from a white man because our ability to relate to one another, our experiences, our history, our culture, the unspoken culture that we have, that we all share. My friend Serena and I talk about this all the time, how we as Black people have an unspoken culture. And we grew up in different households all over the country or different parts of the world, but we all have the same understanding about certain things that's just unspoken. And everybody's mom, aunt, family members, we relate to one another the same way. And so introducing someone into my life and not only introducing him, but making him the leader of my household. And you don't understand my experiences. You don't understand my culture. You don't understand my daddy. You don't understand what it's like to be a Black man in America. You can't raise my Black boys. Should I have them the way that I need you to be able to raise them? So you can't do nothing for me. But more power to you. If you want to be a part of the Rainbow Coalition, that's your business.
We don't have to go all there, but so if he was Latino or if he was African, he can't relate to you.
African's Black though.
African
No. African.
Oh, culturally.
African.
Okay.
So by what she's saying is based off of where you grew up and what you know of the American Black culture, you're telling me that you would not be able to marry an African man or a Latino man that grew up in the same environment that you grew up in. Is that what you're saying?
So he grew up in America?
Yeah, he grew up in America.
So he's a Black man in America who speaks Spanish or who speaks Yoruba?
Well,
because
again,
society still treats him like a Black man in America, and he's going to
what
have
would be the difference? What would be the difference between a white man raised in the South and raised around Black people in the South, and then him marrying a Black woman that's in the same environment as him?
I think she's saying
the difference.
His plight is different.
What would be the difference?
I think the difference is being around a culture and being familiar with a culture is not the same as being a part of it, being ingrained in it, or it being ingrained in you. Being familiar with it, just because you have Black friends and you have a Black Southern accent and you go to Black churches or whatever, you got a Black girlfriend, that doesn't mean that you understand my experience, my history, my legacy. You don't understand what we encounter because that's just not your reality. You don't wake up every single day and you're not made aware that you are a certain color. We wake up every single day and know that we're Black, and we're reminded of that throughout the day, every single fucking day. That man can't relate to that shit.
Okay.
I have before I go to Mary, just say yes or no. Do you put raisins in your potato salad?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Nope, absolutely not.
No.
Like, why would you? No, absolutely not. What?
Sis?
I eat them, but outside of my potato salad. I eat them by themselves.
So just note, everybody who can take love how it come and it don't matter, you will be having raisins in your potato salad. You fuck around too much. All right, Mary, what's up?
It's not happening. And it's not saying that someone outside your race can't love you. My biggest issue is always going to be where they come from. So although they may treat you a certain way, there's always going to be their parents and their grandparents in the back of their head saying, boom, 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 it's not supposed to be like this. And I definitely wouldn't trust no white man that's been raised around Black people in the South, because slaves come from here. So they have the worst of the worst parents, grandparents, and everything coming from down here. So I definitely would not be with no country white boy. Personally,
Florida's not the South. I hate to interrupt, but Florida's not the South. So there's a difference between Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi than Florida. Florida is not the South. And there are some white kids that were raised by Black grandmothers and neighborhood women who took care of them outside of their family. And that's all they know.
I don't want a hillbilly. I won't do it. I don't think it's realistic. Even back to what Dana said about raising our kids, like a white man can't raise my my son to be a strong Black man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, a lot of it comes derived from their background of their families. People don't understand. I don't care who you don't like in somebody's family. It's so much easier when you get along. It's so much easier. I don't want my kids to be playing one day with one of their nieces and nephews and call my kid a nigger. And then my kid react and then here they go fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just unnecessary trauma. A lot of it can bring up unnecessary trauma.
So let me ask. So Kev actually posted this question. No, let me wait.